that's why there's a timer, Leo, because this is not a Fortnite stream. This is a proper stream from my studio setup, so good evening. Hello. How are we doing? I hope we are all well, fine, good, and dandy. Forgot to ask last week, but did you hear about the Avatar The Last Airbender leak of the whole movie? Yes, I did hear about that, Adam. I heard about the entire thing being leaked on the internet. What an absolute shit show that must be. But that's not the first time something like that has happened, I might add. The Sandy Cheeks movie, the whole thing leaked on the internet about 6 or 7 months before it actually came out on Netflix. The whole thing leaked online. I think the same may have happened for the Plankton movie as well. And you can see my phone here, by the way, because we are here. Oh, thanks, Leo, for the nice hair comment. It is just out the shower, so it should be pretty nice and floofy. But we are here to do some Lego, build some Lego, and if we achieve our super chat goal tonight, we will rip 3 packs of not ascended heroes, perfect order Pokemon. But that's only if we hit the super chat goal by the end of the night. So this is a little bit different to what we do with Fortnite. We have a multi-camera setup, as you can see. Here are my hands. What beautiful hands they are indeed. And yes, they are beautiful hands. Before anybody says anything. We've got Coca-Cola Cherry Float on deck. 0 sugar, of course. We've got the good cameras out tonight. This is not the crappy PlayStation camera, folks. This is a proper streaming setup. We don't do things by halves here. Good evening, Jimmy. Anyway, good evening, Adam. Good evening, Leo. But our first set we're going to get into tonight is the very sticker-looking heavy Lego Speed Champions Back to the Future Delorean. We're going to build this live. Yeah, well, they are nice, clean hands, yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, just recently out the shower, so one would hope so. And then we've got the Brickheadz up here, which are Adventure Peely and Cuddle Team Leader. We will see how we are going for time after we've built this DeLorean. But we should be getting into those as well. And like I said, if we do hit our super chat goal tonight, then there's a triple pack of perfect order cards hiding back here somewhere behind Pikachu at the museum for us to rip into as well. Most of the design is prints. I like prints. I much prefer prints. So, hopefully, that is the case. Now, before I do get going, how is my mic sounding? How's the setup looking? Are we all good? Do you think we're good to go? It is hot as hell here, by the way. Chrissy's got 2 fans on her. I have none. So, and 3 blaring studio lights, 3 massive screens, the camera, and all of the electrical equipment around me as well. I am in a metaphorical oven. Thank you, Adam. I'd hoped the mic sounds great considering all the bloody work I've done on it. Oh, here we go. Look, straight away we got paper bags. Paper bag. You know, if you've ever been to my Lego streams before, you know how I feel about paper bags. And it's not good. It's not good. But I had to have a DeLorean, and this one was cheap enough. Look at that. This one was cheap enough that I thought, you know what? Yeah. That looks really dusty for something that's meant to be brand new. Just saying, Lego. Pointing out the obvious. Boo paper bags indeed. They need to go. Because they're so much more difficult to work out if you've actually got all the pieces out. Chrissy took away my other table, so I'm working. I'm working with what I've got here, folks. Normally I would keep the bags on the other table. But what I've got here is this build area. I'm going to put these here. I'm going to put the book at the back. Sticker sheet, boo. Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's not that many stickers. But still, boo to stickers. Boo! 30 to 40 prints, 7 to 8 stickers. Okay. Well, I do like to hear that. And obviously we'll start... Well, we'll have a quick look in the book. It's pretty. You got barely any stickers what you're paying for. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I will give you that. There is not as many as I thought there would be. It's a little bit of a saving grace. And the first thing we're building, if I can get all the pieces out of this bag, of course, is Marty McFly. Think, McFly, think. Don't forget, folks, if you haven't already, there is a like button. There is a subscription button. All of that good stuff. I know people are probably going to be mad at me for streaming at the same time as I believe John is starting a stream. But you know what? Today's been a rough and long day. I will get going when I can get going. And right now is when I can get going. And I was gonna just, yeah, I did watch Invincible, yeah. I watched some of it. Yeah. But like I say, I was gonna just do Fortnite, but Chrissy sort of turned around to me and said, "Come on, you know you want to do a yeah, Lego stream." So I thought, you know what, she's right. John's my old podcast partner, Leo. I used to do news and politics reporting, and John was my partner in crime. I say crime. It wasn't really criminal. But John was my partner, and he's doing a stream tonight. So I'm just going to get into it, and we're going to start building this. And we can chat about life, the universe, and everything. I'll be seeing John on Wednesday in person. So that's happening. This coming Wednesday. That must be Doc Brown's head down there. Oh, wow, this is one of the... I'm going to put his angry face on, because look, Marty's got either an angry face or a happy face. I'm going to put his angry face on. Thank you for the nice hair again. I appreciate it. So, did you see what happened last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, anybody? Over there in the United States? Pretty mad. There's Marty McFly. Very nice minifigure, I might add. The print is lovely. Look how well I can get in close with this camera. Just look at that. I mean, you can see my individual fingerprints. That's quite mad. And then if he prints, I don't know, the print continues on the back because he's got that. You're doing a live on Fortnite, are you? Well, I just, you know, not for me tonight. Not for me tonight. But yeah. I'm glad that you are, and I'm glad that you're having a good time, or hope you're having a good time, anyway. And we're here for this tonight, though. We are here to build. Shall I make a happy Doc or a shock Doc? I think shock Doc. With his little bandages on his head, look. Libyans, they found me! I don't know how! What did Dana White say? That's the UFC guy, isn't it? What did he say? Did he say that it was a setup? A lot of people are trying to say it was staged. Right? A lot of people are saying this. And I'm not going to ever buy into that narrative, because there is a man that is now going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. He's alive. Dana White's a guy. We can maybe watch the vid together a bit later. I'll see if I can set that up. Let's see how it goes. But that's lovely as well. Oh wow, I really like the printing on his back. But we have Doc and Marty as our minifigures for this set. So I guess let's get straight into the build itself, which I haven't built something in ages. Although I have been trying to steal the Game Boy off of Chrissy. For a few days now, I've been trying to steal the Game Boy off of Chrissy. The Lego Game Boy, that is. And it's not working, folks. It's not working. She's not letting me have it. I did get it for her, to be fair. But she's just not letting me have it. It's just been sitting there in its box for God knows how long at this point. Yes, we don't have shelving, right? We don't have shelving. Well, we do, because I put some up the other day. But, yeah. I'm trying, Adam. I'm trying. Are you playing Fortnite with Jimmy, or are you with me tonight? Dana said he didn't duck under the table and he thought it was fun. Oh, dear. Well, like I said, these people, though, that think it was a staged event, that think it wasn't real, why would somebody willingly agree to literally throw the rest of their lives away? A registered Democrat at that. Willingly agree to throw the rest of their lives away for a purposely failed assassination attempt on the leader of the free world. So why would somebody do that, is my question. I don't think there's enough money you can pay somebody to willingly do that. But, you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. Anyway, let's continue this build, shall we? We're doing 2 of these. Oh, they're going there. Yeah, I guess stranger things have happened, but honestly speaking, I just don't see it, folks. You know, putting my critical thinking hat on. Yeah, the guy who did it was a teacher as well. Why would he's going to prison for the rest of his life. Even though the attempt failed, that man is not going to see another day of freedom. It's as simple as that. Because he attempted to assassinate the leader of the free world. He ran into the White House Correspondents' Dinner with multiple firearms and a bladed weapon. And he was going for the president. Regardless of whether or not you like the president, regardless of whether or not you think, oh, he's not my president, which a lot of people do say, he's the president. He won Teacher of the Month. Well, he'll certainly be... Well, he'll be winning something of the month when he's continuously handed around inside prison. Oh, dear. Sorry. Sorry, folks. That may well have been a little bit misguided of me. I do apologise. But no, honestly speaking, I just don't see it. How on earth could you even convince somebody to do that? And then there'll be the people that come out and go, oh, it's a psyop. Oh, he was MK Ultra'd. Oh, he was brainwashed. Because there are so many people down so many conspiracy theory rabbit holes. Yep, I knew I'd got something wrong there. That's why we have a brick separator, folk. Ah, it's not a setup. How can it be a setup? It can't be. There's... Exactly. He's lucky they didn't end his life. He's lucky they didn't end his life. It can't be a setup. I refuse to believe that. Oh, bollocks. Already coming into things. So, let's get this it's a setup idea out of our heads, because it wasn't. There are people, right, who have been continually told on a daily drip feed by the mainstream media that he is the bad guy from World War II. Right? Regardless of what you think, if you keep telling people that, sometimes people are going to think they're doing the world a service by going to take out the bad guy from World War II. And this is clearly just another example of somebody who thought, look, I have seen the bad guy from World War II come back into power, or at least someone of the equivalent ilk. and I need to act for the fate of the world. That's what this is. It's an idiot. It's not a setup. Because like I said, if it were a setup, he had to have been paid. He had to have been paid to do this. And who is going to accept any amount of money? Any amount of money to go to prison for the rest of their lives? Teacher of the Month from California? I don't think so. I'm sorry, but I don't. You just got to think about things rationally, logically. And then you get all of these people, like I say, on social media, who think every damn thing is a conspiracy. You know, the lockdowns and all of that, they turned their minds to mush. They did. They turned their minds to mush. They genuinely think we're still in that time. We're not. They genuinely think that this is all, you know, the world is still all some sort of massive conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy. It's not, folks. It's not that deep. Yes, what happened during the lockdowns, we all know that, let's just say, some truths were not told. And some actions that were wholly unnecessary were taken. However, not everything is that. And that wasn't done for some, you know, masterminded, manipulative or manipulated scheme of some people sitting in the shadows going, It was done mostly out of fear of not being seen not to do something. You know, blaming the aliens might be a good shout at this point, Beats. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Not by governments, but by, you know, the conspiracy theorists. Now, I like a good conspiracy theory. Don't get me wrong. I do. I enjoy them. I find them entertaining. But that's where it ends. I find them entertaining. You know, sometimes. I mean, you've got people on social media who've got large followings, by the way, and people that hang off their every word, that think people were switched gender in the womb. And then, because they were switched gender, some people have got some kind of hold over them, and then they're completely manipulated and controlled. There are people that believe that if somebody breaks their ankle and gets one of them pressure boots, they've had some kind of humiliation ritual from the elites, and the elites are now controlling them because they've got a pressure boot on their foot. So I know my best friend Lisa, you know, she had a pressure boot on her foot for months. She manipulated by the elites, humiliation. These people are mad. And yet there are people that hang off their every word and go, oh my God, thank you for telling us this deeply bullshit information. And that's what it is. Bullshit. Sorry about the rambling rants there, folks, but there are genuinely some people who think that what happened last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was something that was staged by Donald Trump and his team. And a man is now going to go to prison for the rest of his life for this. I just... Come on, folks. Come on. Think about it rationally. Think about it logically. Teacher of the Month from California, registered Democrat, has been told constantly by his television that the Nazis have returned. And there you go. And we're making some headway on bag one here, folks. Making some real good headway, actually. Who remembers? Well, I would hope everybody remembers Back to the Future. Back to the Future was a great series of movies. And then they did a really good Telltale game, actually, as well. with a really good voice actor who portrayed Marty McFly, and there was a little voice cameo from Michael J. Fox in it as well. But the Telltale game's really good. And I guess you could serve it as Back to the Future 4. And if you haven't played it, I really do suggest that you do play it. I keep making rookie mistakes. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm distracted from all this idiocy that's going on around us right now. Who knows? But blaming the aliens beats might be the next shout. But anyway, yes, I should be meeting up with both John and Shalini in the week. So, and it's not for good reasons, unfortunately. We are coming together, so that's obviously a good thing, but we're not coming together for good reasons. Because we will be, I guess, saying our goodbyes to a friend, which is, yeah, that's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But I think John's on stream right now, anyway. Probably with David, because David's not turned up. But you know what? We're here building Lego. Because we promised we would. Lego, Lego, Lego. It's hot as hell, by the way. I'm actually starting to get a little bit sweaty. Because it's hot as hell. The David madness you've been following all week. Oh my god. David Burke is... I know there's a moratorium right now in California. Okay. There's a moratorium right now of executions. So they're not actually executing anybody, even though they're on death row in California. However, David Burke, or D4VD, the singer, is facing potential death penalty for the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I mean, I have no idea how on earth this comes away as anything other than he did it. They may be famous last words, because he may get away with this still, but he is professing innocence. Obviously, he's gonna try and use the fact that he was on tour when she went, or at least when she was found, as an excuse. That's what he's gonna do. I keep making rookie mistakes. But yeah, David Burke is a musician, was discovered on TikTok, made very famous very quickly, was dating a 13-year-old named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Look at that. Got our first printed piece in. And then that 14-year-old wound up in many pieces in his trunk. So Adam says, to be honest, I don't think he deserves death penalty for death when there's murders with hundreds of deaths and they aren't dead in a death penalty. You know what? I can't say. I can't say whether or not he deserves a death penalty, but what I can say is that if he did this, I mean, there are certainly aggravating circumstances, and the police/FBI are picking up on those aggravating circumstances, such as he did it so that hopefully his relationship with this young girl would not be exposed, despite the fact he used to go on stream with her while she was in his house because he's an idiot. Sorry to point that out, but he is an idiot. Why would you do such a thing? He must have known that his relationship with her was wrong. He must have known that his relationship with her was public, and he must have known his relationship with her was illegal. Well, they've definitely got him on a bunch of CP, from what I understand, Beats, because they found a lot of it on his devices, they announced. So it would seem that either those are videos of himself with young Celeste, or yeah. Well, and this is why people think he might defend. He's going to say he was set up, essentially, is what people think he's going to say. He's going to say, well, I wasn't here, I was on tour, and it's wound up in my car while I was away. How can that have anything to do with me, officer? What about all this CP we found on your phone, dear? Oh, no, not my phone. Not my phone. He basically did a Dexter Morgan Bay Harbor butcher. Yeah, and then didn't finish the job, shall we say. Didn't finish the job. Just sort of gave up partway through. Yeah, I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit tired. I'm not going to, oh yeah, they really are printed pieces. But... yeah, I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit tired. I'm not going to actually dispose of these remains. I'm just going to leave them in my car. In the California heat, down the road from my house. That won't be suspicious at all. And we're missing a piece already. Isn't that fan-dabby-dabby-dozy? Already missing a piece. Check inside the paper bag. Fudging paper bags. Don't get me started. I'm very appreciative of there being prints here. Very appreciative. We've already got our first pieces of texturism. Texturism? Is texturism a word? No, probably not. Where are we going? Where are we going with this? I think it's probably better for me to sit a bit further forwards, actually. That's it, rolling. Move the mic. Move that lamp. And we've lost everything. Are we still live? I don't know. Right. Put that back up there. Where it's supposed to be. I'm glad there's many more prints coming. And from me, there's going to be many more gallons of sweat. Because Christ, it's hot. It is bloody hot. I think that's stage 1 complete. I'm not wrong. I mean, that's only taken me half an hour, hasn't it? Hello, Tiana. How you doing? Yes, Lego Building Live. Come join us. Say hello. Stick around. And tell us what, if you guys want to talk about anything like we're doing. I enjoy this way of talking to you guys a lot. Okay. Holy crap, we've got to put something on something 8 times here. Ooh, 8 times. So, I just got to find 8 of them. And get it on properly. Hello again, Jimmy. How's the gaming going? Are you winning? And before you tell me yes, remember I can look back at your stream. I can do that. Just to let you know there. Five. Are you winning, son? I want you to tell me if you're winning on Fortnite and to be honest about it. There are even 8 of those here. Well, there's number 7. We're at 7. Come on, number 8. Don't elude my eyes. There it is. Number 8. And then 2. This stage 2 is going to be pretty small, isn't it? Hello. That should be better for the audio, actually. Sitting it there. I don't know, actually, because now it looks like it's really low. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah. Right. There is that. There is that. Oh, he is in fact not winning. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know, Adam. At what point does Jimmy just call you a grass? I mean, I'm not going to lie. You know, you did the right thing. Back bumper. Ah, we're putting a sticker on. We're putting a sticker on, folks. It's a sticker. R.I.P. to David Wilcock from Ancient Aliens. They tried to conspiracies about his death. Isn't he? And that's Giorgio Tsoukalos. That's the absolutely nutty one with the hair that's all over the shop, isn't it? Like I said, I find all this stuff extremely entertaining. That's probably the best I'm going to get the sticker on. Doesn't look too bad, actually. Did you ever watch History Channel's Ancient Aliens, Adam? It's literally a show about conspiracies to do with aliens, and they basically are convinced that aliens created human beings, and among other things. They're hilarious, but they're harmless. They are harmless, but how long until the media come for them? You know? Oh no, these conspiracy nuts are poisoning your minds and making you think that aliens created human beings, and still, like I say, they're completely harmless, really. But isn't it still going on, Ancient Aliens? I do think it's still a thing. But there's a guy, and I believe his name is like Giorgio Tsoukalos. And he looks like you would imagine he looks like. He literally sits there on every episode with this hair that's... Hold on. Let me try and do a representation of it. It's like up... I can't do it. Up, out, everywhere. Like he's trying to be Goku but couldn't quite style it properly. And he makes me laugh every single time. I don't know if I'm buying them Shrek Lego sets. I would have to defer to Chrissy on those ones because they don't excite me. But yeah. Well, yeah, because the History Channel really stopped being about history when Ancient Aliens hit it big. It really stopped being about... there's no real semblance of actual history on that channel anymore. Fake Goku, yeah. Actually, give me a second. I reckon we can... let me just check something here. Yeah, that is looking at the right screen. So if I do this... Right. Look at this. I can do something now. Google... I just want to go to Google. There we go. I hope I'm spelling his name right. Yeah, here it is. There he is. It's just aliens did it. Aliens did it. So yeah, he's sort of the star. But still. Exactly. It's a Goku. Well, it's wannabe Goku. Did I do that? Yeah, I did do that. I am building this much slower than I normally would because I'm actually enjoying this little chat. I'm not going to lie. But I am building, you know, we are making progress. Some progress. We're on stage 2 so far. And we're 40 minutes into the stream. That's pretty mad, actually. We should be pretty much done on this set by now. But hey ho. No wonder he believes in aliens. He's an alien. Goku is an alien. Well, yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm completely with you there. Maybe he does think he is from the planet Saiyan. You know? He's spent all of his time hanging out with his Namek buddy Piccolo. Right. Okay. Well, when you make mistakes, you fix them. It's as simple as that. Okay. And fix them I have. I will say this, there's a lot of internal structure to this car. A lot of internal structures to this car. Oh, we're putting some sides on now, are we? Putting some sides on. David was the one with blonde hair, was he? Well, I guess Giorgio and Nat are probably celebrating the fact that he's gone home or something. You know, David's gone home. He's... Hey, how's it going on the Lego project? It's going, Andy. It's going. We're talking about a guy from Ancient Aliens at the moment that passed away. And just how, you know, ridiculous a premise that show actually was. But I must say, extremely entertaining. So, Tiana, if you're still in the chat, what have you been up to, buddy? How's your day been? Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of internal structure. By the way, Jimmy didn't, in fact, win. No, Giorgio didn't pass away. His friend David did. Another presenter on the show. But they all pretty much say the same thing. This is the thing. They got a whole bunch of experts on to do this show. And you think, what are these people actually experts in apart from bullshit? And still, you know, they genuinely believed the stuff they were saying. But I do think they sort of hammed... Oh, he took his own life. Shit. He didn't win nothing. Oh, damn it. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. Whilst I build the internals of a Delorean. Dab, 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 dab. See, I can do the thing. I think they go on there. And then I'm going to build... Oh, look, it's the flux capacitor. And it's printed on both sides. How lovely. How lovely indeed. But still, back to Ancient Aliens. Like I said, it was entertaining. You started to sing along, did you, Adam? Good. That's what we like to hear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the show in itself. If you just look at it for what it is, it's a piece of entertainment. It's a piece of art. Same as any entertainment, same as any art. This is Ancient Aliens I'm talking about. Is that the right way up? I can't actually see it. No, it's upside down. See? Head in the game, Chad. Head in the game. There we go. That's better. Ah, that's better. Now we can put in the flux capacitor. And we can build the seat backs in the traditional way that you build Lego seat backs. This is nothing new. It's the same in every Lego car. And then we can attach them down here. Look. I will say, like I said, a lot of internals in such a small car. You're going to do football soon, are you, Jimmy? But nobody likes football, Jimmy. Nobody likes football. Well, when I say football, I mean British / European / Americans play soccer as well. But no, nobody likes it. Looking pretty good. What are we doing? Where are we putting this? So we're going to turn this way. That's going there. Folding in like that. And then we're going to do this twice. Okay. Feeding this through here twice. You know for a fact he wasn't made by Alien. Maybe Dredd could answer that question. I don't know. Dredd's not here though. He's guaranteed if you go over and watch John's stream right now. Dredd's probably watching John and David. Right? We've only got our beats with us right now. And he's probably got us both on, to be fair. Although we all know where the most entertaining stream is right now. Don't we, folks? Sorry, guys. Yeah, one must toot one's own horn. Because if one does not toot one's own horn, who is there to toot one's horn? David was not a scientist, but people adding him as another dead scientist, so they're making up a conspiracy because David took his own life. Jesus Christ. This conspiracy, this scientists are all dying, this bollocks. Yeah, even Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire has got on it. Thinking that, there's this big conspiracy of scientists disappearing. There's not, folks. What doesn't look right about this? It looks fine. There's not. And this is what I'm talking about. There are people who have gone absolutely mad over the idea of everything being a conspiracy. They've lost their minds. And the most unfortunate thing about the whole thing is the amount of people that hang off these people's every words. I mean, I've seen one earlier on. He dropped a message on X, right? Genuinely, this guy dropped a message on X. The good guys are coming. In every hospital got hand. This is genuinely a message I read earlier on X from one of these idiots. He says every hospital in America was hand delivered by the Department of Defense. A military officer walked in and handed every hospital in America a piece of paper that read that people paying for treatments is going to be wound down, and in 90 days' time, the utopia is here. Everybody will get free healthcare in America from then on in. And people are fucking hanging off this bollocks, excuse my language, and going, oh my God, thank you for letting us know. Thank you so much. A guy just made up some crap. And you go, oh my God, thank you so much. Jesus Christ, I can almost assure you that's not going to happen, folks. As harsh as that sounds, as harsh as I sound, David Wilcox just spoke about aliens, space, and other world things. Yeah, well, I mean, don't allow me to be the party pooper or anything, but quite frankly, that's just never gonna happen. Okay. Bag 3, boys and girls, is freaking tiny. Look at that. Look at that. Although I am pretty stoked about how good the camera quality is on this stream. I am not stoked about paper baggies. David Wilcox may well have been an alien, like I said. The other Ancient Aliens guys were like, David's gone home. He's finally gone home. And you're just going, what? But yeah, these are the type of people. Yeah, they're nutters. Nutters, boys and girls. As we say in British rhyming, well, not rhyming slang, but it's a British term for crazy people. Nutter. An absolute nutcase. But, as he was an Ancient Aliens presenter, probably a completely harmless nutcase because, like I say, I think these people genuinely believed what they were saying, but in the same breath, I also think that they knew to ham it up. As in, to go over the top, to really sell themselves, even make themselves look as kooky as people thought they were, simply because it was entertainment. And that's the way I look at shows like Ancient Aliens, as entertainment. But there are people out there who genuinely look at this stuff as 100% true, and nothing will ever change their mind. And I'm not saying their mind should be changed, but what I'm saying is, if you really want to question narratives, if you really, really want to question what you're being told, then question it. But don't come up with, I know the answer. Well, unless you do know the answer, of course. But don't just look at the first thing that's being said to you somewhere by someone else who, is not presenting any evidence of their claims, I might add, and just going, yeah, that's it, that's the one. Because it's probably not the one. Critical thinking is very important. And learning to question everything is also very important. But you question everything to seek clarification. You don't question everything so that, oh, look, it's Mr. Fusion. Or at least part of it. You don't question everything because simply everything you're being told is a lie. Yes, a lot of what you're being told might be a lie. And quite often, especially when it comes to, you know, political parties, governments, even world leaders who have been elected, they're probably lying to an extent. But not everything you see is a lie. Not everything is a psyop. It's just not. And it must be so exhausting. Right? Imagine being an autistic man who overthinks absolutely everything and anything anyway. That's me. Right? And it's exhausting. But imagine being someone who has basically worried themselves into thinking nothing in their reality is real. Everything must be a psychological operation. Everything is a lie. To think like that, it must be horrific. But yes, like I said, everything, well, not everything you're told, not everything you see, and not everything you know, are presented by especially people in power is going to be true. That part is true. But in the same breath, it's not all a lie. It's not all a conspiracy. It's not all a cover-up. It's not all a psyop. You can ask questions. And you should ask questions. I encourage people to ask questions. But to seek clarification. And if the answer that you receive lines up with what you're seeing, then probably, you know, the original answer is true. Have you ever heard of the theory of Occam's razor, folks? Occam's razor says that the simplest solution is usually the correct one. And I think for most things that holds pretty damn true. I'm not gonna lie. In most situations, Occam's razor holds pretty damn true. I am so impressed, once again, on how much, just for this, it's a cheap set. Just how much is going into simply building up the back and the interiors. It's starting to form the shape that we know. What about these social media celebs driving over each other? You hear about that. Right, social media celebs, or influencers, whatever you want to call them. For the most part, I've got an IQ of about 4. They aren't very intelligent people, and they seem to get insanely jealous of one another. Okay? And it's not just social media celebs as well. It's people that see influencers. Because you see all these influencers going through all these scandals, and quite often, a lot of the things being said simply aren't true. And they're made up so that jealousy, they get jealous of one another, these influencers do. And the audience members especially want what they have, and instead of trying to go out and build it themselves, they'll still try and take it from that person. So these social media celebs and influencers, they're not smart. Now, have they got lots of money? Yeah. Have they got lots of clout and fame? Yeah. Do they deserve those things? Probably not. See, there's me overthinking again. Keep overthinking. No. Let's be generous. Let's give them the IQ of 4, Adam. But they always get caught up in some scandal. I mean, there's one that's going around at the moment. I think his name is Clavicular. I don't know why he's famous. But didn't he like OD on stream the other day? if anybody knows what I'm talking about. On stream. And then he just comes back the next day, yeah, you know, partied a little too hard. No, mate. You're a moron. But like I said, these people are being paid stupid amounts of money to be morons. So there's no incentive for them to not be a moron. This is cool. I really like this. I mean, this is just a Speed Champion set. It's a cheap Speed Champion set, and by cheap I mean it was less than £25. I seen one the other day. Actually, I saw a video the other day of some Australian guy. He's one of Clavicula's friends. Apparently, he's been deported. I forget what his name was or what his streaming name was, but he wears a wig. And he ended up like trying to break up a fight between two women that he basically caused. And then some guy came and punched him on stream. But it's like this guy's walking around doing something called looks maxing, they call it, where they basically want to portray themselves as beautiful and hot and the best looking guy ever. The guy's wearing a freaking wig so that he can look better, and so people clown upon him by going and knocking his wig off. But, you know, I don't encourage people going to knock someone's wig off, but I also won't laugh. I won't not laugh. This is so cool. But yeah, no, these people are, they're not. I mean, like Jimmy Beast I can kind of understand, yeah? Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson. He built things up by doing... you didn't think Ben would say looks maxing. Ben's trying to work out what the hell it even is. I am so confused here. What is that going on like that? Yeah. You seen Sneeko get KO'd the other day. Why is that guy famous? Like, why is that guy famous? Once again, complete and utter moron. Something's gone wrong here. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, it looks right to me. But yeah, Sneeko, complete and utter moron. He's not intelligent. He portrays himself as some intellectual. He just hates women, in my opinion. Like, hates women. And he hides behind his alleged faith to do it. I mean, hasn't he been on streams with that very questionable preacher, I guess, whatever, Muhammad Jihad? Scarlett, good evening. I have a question. Is Chrissy alive? From Scarlett. She said she's dead. I have not banished her. She's about 5 feet away. She's over there. Although banishment sounds like a sound idea. Does it not? Hello, Mr. Liub. Back to the dreaded sticker sheet. It said number 4. That's not right. Yeah, Chrissy's not been very well. You did message her earlier. Well, unfortunately, I don't read my wife's messages, so... I can't address whatever message you may or may not have sent. Okay, I need this, and then I'm going to do this because I'm not paying too much of attention. Because we're moaning about looks maxing streamers. I mean, Johnny Somali. Ramzi Khalid Ismail, I think his name is. Now imprisoning South Korea for... He did get a 6-month sentence, but he's going to be in there a lot longer than 6 months now because both him and the prosecutor have appealed against that sentence. And do you know what? I think it's right to appeal that sentence because... The man should have got way more than 6 months for what he did. Oh no, Ben, you think people should go to jail for streaming? No, I think people should go to jail for continually going and breaking the laws of other countries on purpose. Why have I got 3 of these? Where are they meant to go? See? Oh, there. There. And then you got what's that? That stupid twat Vitali, who's just come back from being in prison in a foreign country for breaking their laws, and he managed to get out early. Was it in Indonesia? Was it Indonesia? Where was he in prison? And then goes straight back to doing what he used to do before. Well, he started off as a comedian / prank artist. That dried up. So he moved on to other things. And then he moved on to the predator catching. And so once he got out of prison in, I think it was Indonesia, he went straight back to predator catching in the United States. Oh yeah, Charles Bronson should damn well be free. But he would end up straight back inside anyway. I don't think at this point he's fit for the outside world. But still, he comes straight back, does a predator sting, sets up the wrong person. The wrong person turns up. Well, it's the right person, but they never actually said they were, underage to him. So he thought he was coming to meet an 18-year-old girl. They plastered his name, they plastered his details all over the internet, calling him a predator when he wasn't. Yeah, Vitali's apologised. But it's too late now. It's too little, too late, mate. The damage is done. These social media influencers, streamers, whatever you want to call them, they're not good people, and they're really, really stupid for the most part. Yes, there are wholesome ones. Yes, there are good ones. But people like this that keep getting famous for all of the wrong reasons are just degenerate morons. And unfortunately, platforms like Kick have made it so that they can have the ability to do what they do. Now, am I saying that they shouldn't be able to go out and make their videos. No, of course they should. But if they do things that piss people off, expect consequences. First and foremost. But secondly, why are we rewarding this type of behaviour with often millions of dollars and a massive built-in audience? I don't get it. I don't get why people want to watch. I guess it might come down to something like people are too scared to actually do this sort of thing themselves. So they're looking at these people like a proxy. Look, oh, these people are causing trouble. These people are doing all this crazy stuff, man. We wish we could do this, but we're not able to. So you know what? We'll live vicariously through them. I can imagine that being something. Because otherwise, I don't see why on earth they've got any kind of fame or recognition. So that's going there. Yeah, look at that. Sort of lines up. I don't think I'm going to have time to do the Brickheadz by the time I finish this. Which is a shame. But there's another 2 builds there, and I don't know if I can sit in this chair for another hour plus after this is done. Because I've got 2 more stages to do on this yet. Yes, I've been building it slowly, but A, it's the first build that I've done in a long time, and secondly, it's hot as hell here. They had a protest for Charles Bronson outside his prison today. They really need to, you know, keep finding reasons to keep that man in jail, don't they? At this point, he really should just be out. But I don't think he would. I don't think the outside world and him would get along very well. I really don't. Right. I think he would. He's Britain's longest serving prisoner. And he's Britain's longest serving prisoner for a reason. Well, maybe not. But he's institutionalized. And for those who don't know what that means, it means he only knows life on the inside now. And he would probably end up doing something just to get back there if he were released. Because he wouldn't be able to cope or handle it outside in the real world. And that's not an indictment on his character. That's just pointing out the reality of the situation that the man is likely in. It's an American side drive. There goes the steering wheel. I'll stay until I've done the Delorean, yeah. But I don't think I'm going to do the Brickheadz. I might come back either tomorrow or the next day to do those. Simply because of a timing factor thing and the fact that the inside of my ear is starting to swell up. Which isn't good. Time circuits on, boys and girls. But all of this detail for a Speed Champion set that costs less than £25. I am so impressed. I am. Not impressed with the sticker work, but then I'm never impressed with the sticker work. Let's face it. I despise the stickers. And now I appear to have lost the sticker sheet. Well, that's interesting. There it is. I found it. Right, so sticker number 5. And it's that way up. Okay. That will do. It's not on fully straight, but hey, we're going to find out about the levels of the plutonium chamber. Because this sucker's nuclear, as Marty McFly says in the movies. Sheriff Arts. What's Sheriff Arts? Tell me. What is Oh, I'll be done by 10, mate. Well, one would hope, anyway. One would hope. Hello. There it is. Just call out for the peace and it shall appear. I saw the first Spider Noir trailer. The one that came out like a couple months ago. And I must admit, I am looking forward to watching it. It looks pretty damn good. Yep, Nicolas Cage is like my spirit animal. I love that man. He can do no wrong. Even when they did the crappy CGI version of him in that really shitty Flash movie. Oh, a new trailer came out. I would say let's watch it together, but then they'll copyright claim my damn video. Okie dokie. Sidings are getting good. So me and Chrissy have some... We have some things to do tomorrow in the daytime. We have some things to do Tuesday in the daytime. Wednesday I'm going to see John and Shalini. Thursday I'm booked up. And then Friday Connor wants me for something or other. Busy week. Busy week. Stick that there. Right. What are we looking here? Yeah, I'm paying somewhat attention. I'm not though, am I? Because that would mean I'll put that on that way around. And then Jesus Christ, Ben. Pay attention, man. Yeah, busy, busy, busy. Busy, busy, busy. Okay, we're building something else that we will then attach to it. But that's the back end pretty much sorted. Looking good. You want to know what the Lego Star Wars to the right is? I'd better check whether or not if I move it you can see Chrissy. You can't. It's coming up, Adam. What it is? Not today. But it is coming up. That I can assure you. Coming this summer. The Lego Acclimator Starship that you've all been waiting for. In a world where Ben sometimes does Lego streams because financially he can't afford to do them every day. People wondered why he started gaming more often. Well, that's the answer. He's broke as shit. coming soon to a YouTube near you. Doing something twice here. Doing something twice. I can do a really... Adam. Yeah, that's very true. Right? Obviously, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are worse off than we are, but we are not amazingly well off. Hopefully, we can build the channel. And if we build the channel, we might be able to do more stuff and give away more stuff. Because that's what we really want to do. We want to start doing some giveaways and stuff. We just can't afford to. You can't give away me, dear, I'm afraid. I'm the talent. They come here to look at my pretty face. They come here to admire Chad Hawk in all his glory. And it is a lot of more glory. Well, we won't give away money, but we'll certainly give away things. That's the idea. You know, give away vouchers and sets and other stuff like that. We want to do all of that. Give away Chrissy for free. Well, I don't think any of you would take her. Or if you did, you'd give her back in 5 minutes. You'd realise you've made a huge mistake. I'm joking, babe. I'm not giving away free condoms, Beats. If you guys can't, you know, sort your own, you guys can't sort your own safety precautions in that department out, I can't help you. I'm afraid. I just can't help you. Chrissy just said the old sexual health clinic's given for free. Well, I don't know. The financial crunch we're in at the moment. Probably not. Right. 5. Final stage? Yeah, final stage. It's got a mini bag inside it. Boo! Bloody paper bags! What would make a good marketing campaign? Giving away condoms. Real Review UK. Here be condoms. Look, I would of course always advocate people to practice safe reproduction or procreation. But obviously up to a point people can make their own choices. I'm not here to tell people what to do. I can only advise. And sometimes my advice is very bad. Practice Jesus? Adam. Adam, if you think we're practicing Jesus here on this channel, I think you might have got the wrong use it for a target. Jesus Christ. Ironically. I am not a Christian man. And that's okay, by the way. And it's okay that if you are a Christian man or a woman. If you believe in God, Jesus, all of that, good for you. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I haven't got it in me to just blindly give myself over to a quote unquote higher power. To have faith in something that I can't see. And I kind of admire people who can. Because they just have faith. But I look at like Jesus and God, and I think to myself, how is this any different from the people who are espousing theories about lizard people? Now hear me out here. That might sound crazy. That might sound insane, but I've never seen a lizard person. I've never seen any evidence of a lizard person. I've also never seen any evidence of a Christian God. Never. To me, blindly believing in one or the other is the same. And yet, governments and society fully accept one and demonize the other. But there's no difference. Because there's no evidence that there is a God. There's no evidence that Jesus ever existed. Just like there's no evidence that the Queen was a lizard person. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. I just don't understand how we can accept one as fact and one will be completely demonized. When they're the same thing. Blind faith, believing in something that you can't see. That's not a bad thing. But neither is pointing out that blindly believing in one thing and then blindly believing in another thing, one isn't crazy and one accepted as true. Shouldn't be. In my opinion, both are pretty crazy, but just because I don't believe in a Christian God or lizard people doesn't mean that other people don't. You're wrong, David Icke showed me the Queen as a lizard. No, he didn't. I've met that man. And he just waffles on. It's entertaining waffling. It is entertaining old waffle. But once again, it's entertainment. And I think David knows exactly what his audience want. I think he knows exactly what his audience is. And I think there is an element of him hamming up his performance, so to speak, to sell tickets to massive arena shows and things like that. And sell books and sell, memberships to his streaming platform, Iconic. I think there's absolutely an element of him hamming it all up. But am I once again saying that's wrong? No, I'm saying I think the man knows his audience. That's all I'm saying. I think the man knows his audience. This is looking awesome, by the way. I'm very happy with this thus far. Now we're building the front end, are we? So we'll put the actual car there. That's going to go that way around. That way around. That's going on there. But once again, there are people who are fans of David Icke, and there are people who want to believe in the Bible and Jesus and all of that. And fair enough. I say believe in whatever makes you happy. Just don't force that religion or ideology or belief to be something I believe. Because genuinely, I probably don't believe it. Oh. Where on earth has that gone? I felt it hit my foot. And the problem is it's see-through. See-through and plastic. Come on, Pete. I felt you hit my foot. You couldn't have gone far. Well, this is a predicament. This is a predicament. But once again, if I did change your life in a positive way, fantastic. I'm not here to belittle that or take the piss out of that or say that's wrong. I said I believe people. I admire people who believe what they believe and can take a look at something and say, you know what? I believe that. Because I just can't do it. I've dropped a piece, Adam. It's flat and it's see-through. And it's gone under into a desk of wires. And it's somewhat important. Which is not good. I felt it hit my foot. So I thought I knew the general area in which it was in. And it's not there. I'm just going to roll on without it. It's kind of necessary, but I'm just going to roll on without it. It's one of these pieces. It flew out of the thing. It's one of the headlights. That's kind of necessary. Oh, there's a spare. There's a spare. You got into Ike and stuff around 2010, 2011 time. Well, like I said, I think he knows his audience, and I think that he certainly plays the character. He plays up for what will sell things. But I genuinely believe he believes a lot of what he says. I think he just puts a spin on it. I do. I think I think he puts a spin on it for entertainment purposes because he knows what he is. He's always been an entertainer, isn't he? Let's face it. He was a TV pundit. He was a footballer. He came out and he said, I'm Jesus Christ on live TV in a shell suit. And I think I know, I think he knows his audience. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I just say it as a thing. I'm so glad these are printed. I am so glad these are all printed. I mean, let's face it, that's what entertainers do. Entertainers entertain, and they try and keep their audience. I just chat shit, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. Because I like... Whoa, that's very off. You know what? It's hanging over, so I got another go at this. That'll do. Slightly off center, but at least a lot flatter. And there it is. The front end of the car is on. Wow, this is looking awesome. Right. Holy. By the way, boys and girls, it's hot. It's real hot. I don't know if I said that already. Now, where's this piece? Because this piece is not here. I need another one of these, but facing the opposite way. And I don't see it in that pile. Oh, because it's over there. Not in that pile. There we go, boys and girls. It wasn't in that pile. See? I was half right. Yeah, David Icke, he's an entertainer. That's how I describe him. Like I say, I've actually met the guy. He was at one of the rallies in London for the people who were protesting restrictions, shall we say. And I questioned why he was there. I'll tell you why I questioned why he was there, because if you wanted to be taken seriously, and this is not any offence to David Icke, but if you want your movement, or whatever you are, to be taken seriously, you need to have people at the front who at least sound somewhat, well, I would say actually are relatively unknown. And have no real controversies behind them. Because you put David at the helm, and no matter what the message is that's trying to be put across, the headlines of the media that most people read are 10,000 lizard-loving David Icke fans turn out for conspiracy rally in Trafalgar Square. It's not people protesting restrictions put pressure on government to provide proof, shall we say. It's 10,000 lizard-loving David Icke fans turn out for conspiracy rally in Trafalgar Square. And regardless of whether or not you like or trust the mainstream media, the vast majority of the people on this planet read the mainstream media. So you really need to think about that if you want to be taken seriously. Just my opinion. It's like when old Tommy is the head of your rally. Regardless of whether or not you like Tommy, he overshadows, completely overshadows, the point and the people at the rally. Okay, so it's going to wrap into here. And then wrap out of here. And then go through here. And connect on here. Oh wow, that actually worked. That's quite shocking. But that was long enough. Yeah, I mean, Beats, I don't say these things to be like mean or anything like that. I say them because it's, it's patently obvious that's what's going to happen. If you put these people at the head of your movement or the head of your rally, instead of actually being taken seriously for the things and the points you want to put across, the headlines of the people who are going to give the, news across are going to be about the person at the front. Yeah, it's all about optics. Everything is about optics. You know, if you want to be taken seriously, you need the right optics. And regardless of whether or not people like them, David Icke, Tommy Robinson, these people do not provide the correct optics. Okay. Okay, this is really clever. I'm really enjoying this. Like, more than I thought I would. I'm enjoying this. It's coming together so nicely. How is this set so damn detailed? Once again, we're going to wrap this down and round. Okay. Put this on its side. Wrap it down. Underneath, wrap it back through. Up and over. Into there. And then down into there. There we go. That's clever. Somebody thought about this. Somebody thought, well, how can we just add that little bit of line on both sides? Yeah, sure. Some of the stuff can come off quite easy. You know, it's not amazingly line, but this is a less than £25 set. And so far, it's looking exactly like the thing it's meant to be. And I'm very happy with it. And we're doing the same, just finishing off the trim on the other side. I mean, that's just got to go behind there. That goes on there. That one there. And then one more of these. Pop on here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right, we're doing this twice. Where are these going? They've even thought about this. I built those earlier just so I could pop those bits in now. Thoughts on the Daniel Kinahan arrest, Ben? You think they get his dad next? You're going to have to elaborate, my friend. Right, let's have a quick vote in the chat. Do we go for the version with the wheels down? Or do we go for the flying version with Mr. Fusion on? I think we go for the flying version with Mr. Fusion on. But if you guys disagree, feel free to let me know now. I'll give you a couple minutes to decide. What version do you think, babe? Wheels down or the flying version with the wheels up? Hold on a sec. Wheels up. Yeah. Chrissy agrees with me. Wheels up. Ow. So we've got to skip to page 128 for that. Okay, we're going to do Mr. Fusion next. I'm going to show you Mr. Fusion actually because they once again printed it. How cool is that? How good is the print on that? How cool is it that you can see my individual fingerprints? Ben, before you end the live stream, you need to get it to go 88 miles per hour, see what happens. Andy? I don't think it can go 88 miles per hour, mate. I think it's fiction. A good bit of fiction, I might add. There's Mr. Fusion in his place. Oh my god, have they even printed the license plate? That way up, okay. They have... Oh wow, look at that. So if they've printed all of this, then why on earth can they not print the rest of the pieces? Why have we had any stickers? Because on it goes. There we go. Doesn't make any sense. Beat says, Daniel Kinahan is an Irish suspected crime boss. He has been named by the High Court of Ireland as a senior figure in organised crime on a global scale. Well, do you think he is that thing? Okay, we're going to go that way up with the wheels. Good evening, Julie. How far art thou? Yeah, I mean, I can't answer your question. Do you think he is that thing? Do you think they've probably got their man? I haven't followed the story, I'm afraid. This is going to clip on. These are going to clip on where? They're going to go up and under. We're going to slide them up there. Yeah, we are. Up there? I mean, that's pretty much impossible to push them in. How does it want me to do that? Like, what does it want me to use? Because they're not going. It's not going in. Right. I think that might have done it. Yeah, I'm assuming that's correct. Now it's getting delicate though, because it is a £25 set, and parts are not on there the most securely. Okay, I think that's sort of... See, parts are just falling off now because of this silly thing. So how are we? How was John's show? I think it was John and David, wasn't it? Tonight. Yeah, that kind of works. Because we can see here through the little gaps where it's meant to be pushed in. Well, that's not good. See, it's come out again. Popped out. Is that what she said also, babe? Mr. Fusion's fallen off. Getting these wheels on is a cluster fudge. I repeat, getting these wheels on is a cluster fudge of clustered proportions. Right, let's put this back on. Put this back on. And then we'll put this one back on. Busy day for you. I've had Nanny round. Chrissy made spaghetti and meatballs for the kids, her and Nanny. I do not like spaghetti and meatballs. Therefore, I did not have it. Plus, you know, celiac. I'm not eating a big bowl of pasta. Therefore, I had a jacket potato. What the hell? Mr. Fusion's gone again. Yeah, this has nearly taken 2 hours to build, but that's because we've been chatting the whole time. You know, it's not just the building, is it? It's the journey. It's the journey, isn't it, guys? Right, I think they're on as best as they're going to go on. No, not supposed to use some extra pieces to get the wheels connected. Shows you what to do. I've done it. Okay. You know what? I kind of like the California out of time license plate, but that's not going on there. But it's really cool. And then you've got to literally pop the top off to get Doc and Marty in there. So this is the Marty minifigure. I mean, there's a lot of leftover parts because of this build. So I think these need to be kept somewhere semi-safe. Like a little baggie or something. Yeah, these are the Marty McFly minifigure. He's got his vest on. He's going in, sitting there. And then the Dr. Emmett Brown minifigure. I put the shocked face with the plaster on. He's been hit by the flux capacitor. Or no, he's hit his head on the toilet. And dreamt up the flux capacitor at this point. Really nice printed pieces on the body. Really lovely hairpiece. He's going to go in the DeLorean. Right, we're going to have to lift his arms up just to fit him in. There we go. And in they go. Put the lid on. How cool is that, boys and girls? For a £22.99 set, the detailing is absolutely astonishing. I mean, when you look at sets like that, Evil Dobby is up there. It's staring at me right now. My soul is disappearing from my body. Just staring at that thing. Chrissy thinks we should burn it. It'd make a good YouTube short, wouldn't it? I mean, look at this. Doc and Marty can fit in here. You can have the wheels in either position, so you can have them, so you can push it along like a driving car, or you can have it like this in its flying condition. We've got Mr. Fusion on the back. We've got multiple printed pieces, tons of printed pieces. Details like Beat says, "Yeah, Ben, burn it." Actually, babe, could you quickly grab Dobby for me? Because then we could do a poll. Well, they weren't all here for it, so we could do a poll. Maybe next stream we bring him down and we have him on deck and we do a poll. What to do with this horrible, horrible Dobby. I'm going to get a little bag to put these spare pieces in. So I'm going to keep them safe over here because it's the way that you can turn it into the other variant of the car. So they've got to be kept somewhere safe. But I was going to do these in the same stream. But looking at the time, I don't think I should. Because these are going to take at least another hour. But that doesn't mean we can't come back and do them again. You know why I'm staring at you? The 2x2 round dishes are only meant to go on the car's wheels when it's in driving mode. Not when it's in this mode. But there it is, guys. Whoosh. How cool is that? Yeah, they won't go on the back side. I mean, they will. We could put them on there just to have them on there. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. Now they're on there, see? What have we got? We got that. Well, there we go. Handy, it's really cheap. For a Lego set, it's really cheap. Less than $30, I would imagine. So, yeah. You got that Marty in your room staring down at you. Yeah, the thing's really cheap. If you haven't, guys, if you are watching and you're new to the channel, please do click the like button, the subscribe button. Hey, join us again, because I do have a few more things we can build. We've got to build these. Where do we go with that? There we go. We've got to build these. We've got to build this. There's some other stuff over there. Chrissy says I can build a Mario Kart, but not the giant one, because we don't have that yet. And he only spends £1,000 on V-Bucks. Very true, Adam. Very true. But, boys and girls, on that note, I really should start to think about actually making an outro and at least changing the music on my intro, because I'm thinking about changing the music on my intro. But we use the outro as the intro. If you're playing Fortnite tonight, please don't forget to use the code RRUK in the chat or in the creator shop. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now. Well, good night, folks.